So we started working on this crank hub car that Henry was supposed to be here to help us with, and Kennedy did all the work on this car as he was sleeping in his bed doing God knows what, right, Kennedy?
Damn, bro. I gave you coffee, vapes, fucking food, all my Excedrin pills.
Hey, don't forget about the pizza bagels.
The pizza bagels, the chicken nuggets yesterday.
All of them, bro. All of them.
That's how you do me, huh?
And he comes in and he's like, "Oh yeah, oh you guys barely did anything. We pulled off all this crap."
I just realized why I'm fat.
Now we are continuing disassembling the car. So we have the heat exchanger removed, the charge pipe removed, the J pipe to be exact. That's what they call it. We are going to remove the radiator fan, remove the valve cover, remove the fuel line that covers that, disconnect all the stuff on top, all the harnesses that's connected to all of that. We just swing it over across. We remove the power wire over there and we swing that over here. Then there's one more connector that goes to the module over there, and we unclip that and swing it out of the way as well. We need the J pipe out so we can access the bracket that's held in down here. So this bracket right down here is held in with a E8. Move it to the side. This bracket, we just remove it just like this with the bolt right here, and that will allow us to have room to install the locking pin right behind there afterwards. So once we have all this stuff removed, we are going to spin timing so we can get it to top dead center, lock timing. Once we lock timing, we are able to remove all the timing components afterwards. We are going to be going underneath the car to remove all the stuff necessary on the bottom of the car, but that's, you know, all the stuff that you expect to remove anyway. So, you know, all the under trays underneath the car, drop the subframe, remove the oil pan, stuff like that. Alrighty, so we got all of the timing component removed off this car, and then we started to remove the crank hub, and then we locked timing, and then we started drilling into the crankshaft. So we started pulling apart the interior and underneath the car as we started to install a CAE shifter inside of here. And then after we're done with that, we got to do a CDB delete as well, which is a clutch delay valve. For all of you guys that own the manual on a BMW, well, the newer gens, they have a clutch delay valve that actually restricts the flow on the clutch. By removing it, you have a much better input on the clutch feel and the disengagement and engagement as well. So we're doing that after we're done with up here. We got to trim a bunch of stuff. Hey, you missed a spot.
I'm tired of washing my car, bro. Anyone wants to wash my car? I'm over it.
Slide in his DMs.
Yeah.
We finished reassembling this car. We extracted all the belt and then put everything back together. Added oil, coolant, ran the car, and the car's good to go. So we got lucky, nothing else was damaged in the car. Very fortunate. So now we're just gonna reassemble everything else. He told the car with no bumper, so we're gonna put that on, and the car's gonna be ready for pickup in the next few hours. But be sure that if you guys ever have a leaking oil filter housing gasket or a worn down belt, make sure you guys address that ASAP. As you guys saw in the last video, you don't want it to cause catastrophic damage. Luckily, this one wasn't damaged. The car's running perfectly fine, no issues now. On today's episode of Arlen Does Rod Bearings,
Again.
So here we have another E92 M3. Oh my god, this thing does not look good.
Does not.
To organize all the nuts and bolts, and it'll make it much easier for us to be able to reinstall. I know every nut and bolt, so it doesn't matter to me. I just put it in one pile.
I started doing all my tools on the side on these little Mac tools trays because it's better than Snap-on.
Good. Stay organized, make it easier for yourself to install and do all these jobs. This is pretty awesome though.
Yeah. That's what I figured out that you could do with these socket holders. Like, wait a minute, it's got a lip on it. So I started using little tools.
So we're doing this rod bearing job on this E92 M3, and as we're disassembling it, I mean, I'm finally seeing it now because I was working on another car while Arlen was disassembling this. And what we notice every time is if we pull off like an oil pan or a valve cover, a lot of times, see, if you guys are buying a used car, just open up the oil cap and look inside of there. If you see it looking silver, you're good. If it looks brown like this, go back a little bit more. See how it's like really brown and golden? That's a sign that this car did not have proper oil changes in its life. Oh my God, you can see the stains right here. Yeah. See how that looks disgusting. Let me see that light.
You can see like burnt chunks right here too.
Look
on
at
the
that.
edge right here.
The buildup over here.
He was using Kirkland oil.
Right in there. You see all that? Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, so this car probably had, you know, the recommended oil changes for all its life. And this is what happens. You know, BMW says that you can go on for, what is it, like 10,000?
Something like that.
Yeah, like 10,000 miles that you could go on for each oil change. And if you do 10,000 miles, that's how it's going to look.
Usually we recommend every 3,000, 5,000.
Yeah, depending on how you drive, you know, like 3, right, Kennedy?
I don't drive my car at all, but.
That's true.
Kennedy does an oil change once
But
every 10 years.
You know how we always say, like, oh yeah, you know, like you don't change our oil
Look at
every
that
10.
shit, Kennedy.
This happens. So if you're seeing buildup all over onto, you know, underside of this, just like that, imagine where it is everywhere else on all the oil passage. So, you know, imagine it trying to pick up oil and it's clogging up inside of there, or trying to return
Look at the timing
it.
chain guide on this side, Mike, like how stained
all
it is.
disgusting.
Look. This is gross. Yeah.
Like this side's even worse.
Yeah, if you want your car, your engine, to be exact, to last a long time, do oil changes every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on how you drive the car. If you do like drive the car really hard, which most of these guys do, right? The S65 owners,
It's
they
a
all drive
sports
these
car.
cars really hard. You know, normally you do that, you drive it really hard, just change it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. If you're going to a track, then try to change it every 2 track days at least.
Use Motul.
Yeah, Motul is really good. I don't like liquid moly. I used to use liquid moly back then, and then we started using Motul, and we noticed a huge difference. We've been using Motul for over 4 years now. 0 issues. On my R8, I used liquid moly at first just to test it out.
Burning.
Yeah, because everybody's like, oh yeah, use liquid moly. Use liquid moly. It was burning oil, and it was the oil temp was really high compared to Motul. And
If you're
then
just daily driving your car and not really driving it too crazy, liquid moly's okay because it's made to OEM specifications.
yeah, exactly, and
But
it has
the
all the
thing-
additional additives.
Yeah, but the thing with Motul is that it's a race engineered oil, so
Yep.
you're dealing with oils that have better additives to deal with
Yep.
heat and friction and things like that, so that's why it doesn't break down as easy.
Exactly. So every time too we do rod bearings. Not every time, but I would say probably like 80% of the time we do rod bearings. One motor mount with chill, and the other is completely separated.
It's actually right there. You can see it right there on the subframe. It's pretty
Yeah, this
bad.
is very common. Like a lot of guys don't realize it until you start removing it, and then you'll realize that this is actually fully separated. And the response in the engine is a lot laggier because the motor is going to be shifting every single time you get on it. And then once it gets to that certain degree where it doesn't allow it to spin anymore, then it puts a load to the wheels. And every time we change out motor mounts when they're worn down like this, you instantly notice a difference in, you know, response. So please, guys, change your oil more often. So I'm always paying this guy to literally sit around doing nothing. He's just chilling inside this car doing nothing.
I'm pumping the clutch and bleeding it and responding to DMs, so not nothing, but yeah.
Hey, don't be lying, bro. I walked up to him, and he was on his phone. He was actually on OnlyFans, and then I walked up, and he instantly switched it over to Instagram.
Why would I do that at work?
Why are you lying?
I wouldn't even pay for OnlyFans. That shit's free on the internet.
Did you say the other day, oh man, I hope this girl has an OnlyFans?
You know how it's true? He's turning red.
Hey, this guy over here uses like 40% of his paycheck to subscribe to OnlyFans.
Fuck no.
Just kidding. He goes on Instagram. It's free.
Yeah.
So this guy's been watching too much anime, and look at this. All of a sudden, he's a fucking ninja.
Hey, you guys ever seen fucking what was it? Oh, Demon Slayer. Just fucking.
Do it, do it, do it. Show him what's up.
It's good.
So I have so much money into tools and equipments, and you know these guys use my shit all the time.
Hey, that's why I buy my own stuff.
Right? They always use my shit, and every time I go looking for it, I can't find it. And then next thing you know, they start looking for it, and they're like looking throughout the whole shop, cannot find it. And then I spend like 5 seconds and I find it. Hey, what were you looking for?
Jesus Christ, Mike, don't
What
tell
were
me
you
you
looking
found
for?
it. I was looking for the
What were you
short,
looking
I was
for?
looking for the short socket set for the crankshaft.
Yeah, for the oil filter as well, right? What's that?
I think the one that I need is missing.
Yeah, but that's a whole box though.
Yeah.
So you found the box, get the box, and then now look for the socket, which should be where we did the last rod bearing job, which was a couple days ago. That means it's probably going to be on Henry's cart.
Come on, fucker. On your cart!
Where?
So this guy's like, oh yeah, I didn't use it. I don't know where it is.
No. Hey, he's framing me, bro. That
Oh.
shit was not there, bro.
Oh.
No.
I'm framing you, huh?
Hey, that wasn't there, bro.
Huh?
Hey, that was not there.
I didn't even touch it.
Hey, that's crazy.
Hey, you want me to pull up the camera feeds?
Hey, that's why you pause it. You place it.
Yeah, you want me to pull it up?
Hey, he cut the video.
Check it out. This is why he has his knife. So if he ever pisses me off, what's up?
Hey, he's framing me, bro.
Adam, tell everybody what you just did.
Well, the part you missed is Kennedy told me to go get the coffee in Mike's office.
So he goes into my office, grabs a fucking coffee, walks out as I'm walking towards my office.
It's pretty good though. Thank you.
This guy bought a camera. He bought an A7R3, right?
I've used it like twice. Yeah.
And he hasn't even used it.
I mean, I never have time.
Never have time, huh?
Yeah.
Never have time, but you're always out.
At night, I can't go night shooting.
Why not?
I can, but yeah. I don't want to do light painting.
I need your help with
Like this guy's gonna be awake in like 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
Look at the smile on his face because he got
It's a
coffee.
Vietnamese coffee.
Look at him. Hey, any single Asian girls interested? he wants an Asian girl. This guy too, actually. Yeah. No, actually, he's cool with whatever. Anything that walks.
Yeah, basically.
Including dudes.
Dude, slide into his DMs. All you have to say is, "Hey, baby girl," and we'll know.
For him, Asian girls, any single Asian girls or taken, he doesn't care. Yeah, ABGs, please. He doesn't really care too much for like blonde hair. Blonde's okay, but he prefers like the Asian girls. As long as you're into anime, he's cool with it. Back on the subject of this rod bearing car. Look at the oil in here. Did you even notice it?
I did. It's pretty bad.
Look at this.
Pretty bad, Mike.
Hey, Mike, what kind of oil do you think was used in this?
It's funny.
Same oil you
It's
use
funny
to eat.
because Kennedy and I were actually driving to go get you guys coffee, right? Well, I'll say you guys, but myself as well. Mainly me. So I was driving to go get coffee, and you know, Sunleaves, there's actually that
The Jiffy Lube or whatever?
kind of like Jiffy Lube, whatever it is. Like,
Oh, the
like
Valvoline.
Easy Oil or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And then Kennedy's like, yo, like, I wonder how much money these guys make. And I told him, like, they make a good amount because 90% of the time the oil that they're using is conventional oil that's super cheap. They're probably paying like $1 a gallon.
Yeah, because they buy by the drum.
Yeah, they buy it by the drum. So I'm sure that these guys are getting the, I don't know about this guy, but I'm sure that a lot of people who are out there getting their oil changes from these places. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't go.
No, you
I don't
should
recommend it. I would rather recommend for you to bring your own oil to them and have them change out the oil for you.
Yes, that
Right?
works as well.
That works way better.
Watch
You
that.
can literally.
But then you run into the chance of them draining your transmission and overfilling your oil.
Oh yeah, ask this guy about it. He knows.
Don't remind me.
So if you are going to take it to a place to get your oil changed and you know it's cheaper or you know you don't have time or you can't do it from home, just buy oil yourself. I mean, Walmart sells Mobil 1 oil for what? I think 5 gallons like 25 bucks.
Gold_member on Instagram. I'll change your oil.
Hey, this is for everybody in the world. Come on, man.
Yeah, they could fly out here from like, I don't know, wherever. Like,
For an oil change, it's gonna be an expensive.
Yeah,
oil
from
change.
Turkey. Yeah, just you know, fly over here, bring your car with you.
Yeah. Not just bring your whole engine. You don't have to even bring the car.
Yeah, so just
Bring the engine.
just try to bring your own oil to you know wherever it is that you want to get your oil changed at, and just have them change out your. Wait, what if they don't use your oil?
Yeah, they just pocket it and use it on their own cars.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if you bring Motul? Like, oh man, this guy brought a Motul. I'm just gonna pocket this shit.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's somebody that you can trust, that you know that's actually going to do the oil change and use your oil, I don't recommend to take it to like one of those conventional places. We're talking about.
We were just talking about this 3 weeks ago. So there's a lot of horror stories on Reddit, especially of people taking their cars to Jiffy Lube. and they'll find that either the incorrect oil was used, the incorrect amount was added, sometimes the oil cap's even like left off when they get their car back. Just a bunch of stuff like that. Incorrect filter, sometimes filter's not even changed. Like there's a lot of weird things with cheaper shops like that offer $20 oil changes. When you drive a BMW especially, or any German car really, they're very meticulous. You can't just take it to any cheap place that you would take like a cheaper older Honda to. Those are really reliable, you can put pretty much any oil in that.
Not true. Not true.
Well,
hey, I'm sure that this guy can agree with me. So, he was talking about if you have a Honda, you could take it there. No, not true.
Nah.
Earth Dream. Very sensitive.
Earth Dreams are stupid sensitive.
Yeah,
Not
so
even
if you have
that,
like
but
Earth Dream.
If you drive a Type R, for the love of God, if you take it to a Jiffy Lube, I will smack the shit out of you.
No, so regardless, if you have any type of new Toyota or actually any new car nowadays, they have, variable valve timing. And with those type of cars, they require a very specific oil that works correctly with that.
also, like,
I've
ratings, like,
seen
Texas.
back when I was working at a shop in HB with Earthstream, where they were taking the car to a conventional place to get an oil change, and they actually ended up using the incorrect viscosity. And guess what happened?
Done.
Yep, he needed a new motor. And so he took it back into Honda to try to get a warranty because it was under warranty. And guess what? No warranty. They actually pulled the oil and did an oil analysis and found out that it was an incorrect oil.
Yeah. Let me explain what I was going off. My friend, she had a 1998 Honda Civic or maybe 2000 Honda
Yeah, but
Civic.
it's like a D series.
I did her oil change. Like 2.5 quarts came out and it was black, and that car was still running strong. So that's my point, is that they can literally run forever.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah, this just turned into a Honda commercial.
I'm just
Right,
saying.
like, it's a D series.
Obviously,
you
like-
can run a D series of little oil.
Obviously, newer motors, they're going to be more picky, especially Earth Dreams or anything with VTEC, that kind of stuff. You need to be careful. But like my old Jeep, when I bought it, I drained out only, I want to say it was also 2 quarts under. And that thing was running fine. Like things like that, like older motors, I don't think it's as critical. But with German motors, my whole point is just careful who you take it to. Don't take it to cheaper places. Make sure you know what's going in your car and how much is going in. And check the invoices also, make sure that the type of oil is correct, all that good stuff. So.
Exactly. So just make sure that if you have a car that you want to take care of, obviously something that's a little bit higher end or newer, you want to make sure that the oil is changed out with the proper oil and the proper amount. These are very sensitive. You don't want to overfill. You do not want to underfill.
Yeah.
And then imagine taking this to like a Jiffy Lube where they can't even get the oil to read correctly and they keep topping off. Because we've had issues with these oil level sensors where the oil would just keep reading that it's low. And then what do? We let the car sit for like an hour, turn it back on, bam, perfect. Every time. You think these guys are going to do that?
Places, they're not going to know
No.
that. They're going to add more and more and more.
Well, even then,
Go.
you think they're going to spend 1 hour leaving the car there to top off? No, they're not. Those places are all about speed, efficiency. The more oil changes that they get in, the more money they make. So make sure that you guys take care of it yourself or take it to somewhere reputable that you can trust. It's currently 12:17 and this guy's talking about lunch because he's getting hungry. And
I
he's
wake
about
up hungry, to be fair.
he's about to get really hangry very, very soon.
If I have to go 1 more hour without food.
He's probably going to kill someone, including himself. That's why we can't give him a gun. So he wants to grow out his hair and slick it back and grow out his beard. And then Ozon's like, you still won't look like that. You're still like ugly. And then he goes and says that, every time he would go to the barber back then, he'd get a haircut and he would look nothing like that, dude.
You basically show the picture to the barber and you're like, hey, I want to look like this. They do the cut and everything. Hair comes out perfect, just like the picture. But then you look in the mirror, you're like, damn, I still don't look like that guy.
So on this M2 comp, we did the crank hub with our crank hub, reassembled, topped off oil, and then we got to bleed the coolant. We already topped off the coolant, but we got to bleed it. Then we did a clutch delay valve delete, and then we started bleeding it. That's done now. We're installing a CAE shifter as well. This is pretty awesome. I know that the previous ones you actually have to drill down into it. This actually has a sandwich plate that goes on the bottom and it bolts through on the existing hole already. And I like how they actually made a boot to cover out the transmission tunnel for noise and as well as wind, because the heat from the engine travels back and then the air actually pushes the hot air up. So that's always been an issue. At least this, you can actually just put this boot on, seal it off. But to do this, we actually have to trim the cup holder because the cup holder is actually protruding and hitting against this area. So we have to trim it a little bit. Yeah, this is actually a lot of work to do this, you know, shifter, but it's pretty awesome. This thing's super notchy. Super notchy. So, what are we listening to?
The girl who shaved her head.
Okay.
You had to look at your phone?
He goes, yeah, this thing's banger.
This song is a banger, bro.
Okay, sing it then.
I don't know.
Exactly.
This song's a banger.
Exactly. This guy was born in like 2000s and shit, and he's over here like talking about knowing all these songs from the 2000s. Bro.
You'd be like a motherfucker like mumbling 1 or 2 words and then look at the phone and read the lyrics.
He would be.
No.
No, he wouldn't even sing
No, I
it.
know the lyrics. I'm just not gonna sing it.
So when he's not eating or drinking caffeine and sitting around and going on to OnlyFans, he occasionally works.
It's very rare, but it does happen. So, this is a CAE shifter for the M2 competition that we just installed. The center trim right here, as you can see, we did a very clean cut inside the cup holder. So that way it's kind of hidden the fact that it is modified and cut. So you can see from the back a lot better. We cut basically half the cup holder out of the way to fit this part of the shifter right back here. I think you can reverse mount these, I'm not too sure, but
No,
in
there's
this
no
case,
room.
I don't think it was possible.
Not on this car.
On some cars you can actually reverse mount it so that this will be facing back here. You can avoid having to cut like this. But on this car in particular, this chassis, I think it was unavoidable. But we did a pretty good job, as you can see. So from here, this is pretty much all he'll see. He still have access to the USB. This cup holder is perfectly
USB won't
fine.
be usable.
It won't be usable?
No,
Oh,
you
really?
can't plug it in because the shifter blocks it.
Oh, you're right, actually. I just noticed that. But yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
you
it
can
goes vertical up.
You can also even like hide it like that so you never even have to see the hole. So it's pretty cool, actually.
Well, I was telling Kennedy earlier, you know, if you don't want to have it exposed where people know it's modified,
Yeah.
just stick a Red Bull in there.
Basically, we cut just enough. We never overcut. We always undercut because I've probably taken it out of the car like 6 times so far, just to trim a little and a little more and more. Because I'd rather, you know, you can't put anything back that you just cut off. So I always.
Yeah,
trim
you can
less off.
remove material, but you can't add. So trim slowly, and you know, take your time on it to make sure that it's cut perfectly. So you can barely see the cutout that we did. Well, that he did. Even though I was supposed to do it, but you know, I had a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Like, if you're sitting in your position, you can't see it,
No,
right?
you can't see it at all.
Yeah,
That's cool.
sitting from this position as well in the passenger, you can't see it. So
If you
technically,
lean forward, you can tell it's cut if you're sitting on that side. But
yeah.
pretty OEM.
But technically, you still have 2 usable cup holders.
Yeah, actually, if you can see like straight downwards looking, there's plenty of space still for a drink.
This is how you shift a manual transmission. Yeah, yeah. Damn. Okay, okay, okay.
Imagine shifting with us, like having to grab. Oh god, that's horrible.
Wait, you gotta put the pinky out. There you go. There you go. Damn. All right. So this guy actually came over here with the misfire quite some time ago. He had a leaking injector that we changed out. I think it was like 3 weeks later, the injector on another cylinder started leaking again. And then we told him we should just change out all of them because they're gonna end up failing. And guess what happened? The 3rd one failed, and then we're replacing 1 more. But I don't know. I mean, this guy's paying so much more labor just for us to do it individually because we have to remove so much just to access it. If you have 1 failing injector, expect all 6 to eventually fail. I mean, here's proof. Right, Adam?
3rd injector this car's going through.
3rd. Even though we told him the first time, hey, you should change all 6. And then the 2nd failed, and we told him, hey, you should change all 6.
It ends up being more in the long run because you're paying for labor each time that one of these goes bad. That's not cheap, you know.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
much more cost effective to just do it all in one go. But
Hey, are you done?
No, because I actually like being organized and cleaning all my shit and not leaving a mess everywhere.
Yeah, I can't tell if you're sweating or you just have oil on your face.
It's a little bit of both. That G Master lens picking it up.
Yep. It's straight down your forehead. I can see it on camera.
Oh, the oil?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, cool.
So, where's the light? Let's show everybody the
Yeah, let me go
rod
grab
bearings.
a light real quick. So, as we can see here, we have the old rod bearings out of the car. Now, in terms of the condition of these, they're pretty worn out, but we've seen a lot worse. And I'm honestly surprised these weren't a lot worse, judging from the condition of the oil in the car. It seems like this car hasn't had its oil changes on a relatively good interval. But as you can see here, you can see where they're starting to eat through the layers of each of the rod bearings. This one's probably like the worst.
So you could see all the scoring and uneven wear on this. It's actually really bad. Normally we see it kind of like, you know, these
in spots, yeah.
right in the middle or towards the end like this one. But this, you could see
It's
that
like the whole thing.
the whole thing, and then this one's kind of like here, then there. I mean, what do you expect? For the oil that was in here?
Yeah,
You know?
and you should have seen the oil pan when I was cleaning it earlier. It was literally like just me scrubbing my finger on the side of it. It was just straight sludge inside the pan.
That's disgusting.
So that's stuff that's going into all your oil passages, all the galleys, everything, and it's just going to cause issues down the line.
Yeah, it'll start, you know, give it oil starvation. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure. I mean, the last thing you want is oil starvation when you have rod bearing issues already.
And then you spin a bearing, and then you score the crap out of your crank, and then you need a new motor. It's good preventative maintenance. I mean, like, you eat like what, 2.5, it's like 2.5 grand. That usually is like the average charge.
Yep.
2,500.
Yeah, so it's like 2.5K, or it could be anywhere from like, you know, depending if you're in the East Coast, I know it can run up to like 4K.
Yeah.
It's not like super expensive where, I mean, it is, you know, I'm not saying that it's a small amount, definitely. But for peace of mind plus reassurance to know that it's not going to fail on you and cause you a lot more money in the case if it does fail, I mean, I would do it.
It's like one of those things where, like, if this is going to be the only thing you're going to be able to do to your car the whole year, do the rod bearings.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why would you get coilovers if you're going to spin a bearing? Why would you get BBSs if you're going to spin a bearing? It makes
Exactly.
no sense.
Like, why spend all this money on a car that potentially is just going to sit and collect dust
Yeah.
anyways?
It's like if you do the bearings, then you don't have to worry about anything else, and you can just enjoy the car.
Yep.
Just oil changes, all that stuff, and you can start doing all your mods that you guys want to do. I mean, I always stress maintenance whenever people do project cars, because it's just like, what's the point of having a cool looking car if it doesn't even run?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you do all this stuff to the car and try to, you know, make it look good, add all these suspension components, and then this fails on you. Not saying that it will fail on you, you know, I mean, we've seen these last longer, but at the end of the day, every car is different, meaning how do you warm up the car? How do you drive the car? You know, what kind of oil do you use? How often do you change the oil?
There's even tolerances from the factory and how the motor was assembled. You can get lemons where motors are under torqued. It has happened.
Yep.
You never really know. It's just one of those things where you might as well get an experienced technician to work on the car so that you know for sure what's going on with your car, and then you can move forward.
Yep, exactly. Make sure you guys do all your preventative maintenance, you know, just like I've been saying on all the other vlogs, including the N54s. Actually, a lot of people have been watching the N54 ones. So for all you E92 M3 owners, or, you know, E6X with the S85, very common as well.
Those V10s are problematic.
Yeah, that's why you don't really see them anymore, you know, like the V10s,
Yeah.
like when they first came out, everybody wanted them. And then you start having rod bearing failures, and then Vanos high pressure line failures.
They sound cool, but it's just like for how long?
Yep. So same thing with those cars. Preventative maintenance, you know, it's key. It's key to having a long-lasting car with no issues.
Give me a hug, bro.
No.
Give me a fucking hug.
No!
Why?
Go back to your corner right now. Get in the corner. Get in your corner. No, get in your corner. Get in your corner. Get in your corner.
Give me a hug,
In
bro.
your corner.
Give me a hug, bro.
Get away from me, dirty ass slut. Look at that. Oil level is fucking perfect. So now we're all done with this car. It's running now. We finished the crank hub job. Topped off coolant, topped off oil, and then reassembled the whole car. It's fully reassembled. We did the Falline oil cooler guard as well, which required a lot of cutting. We did a clutch delay valve delete, and then we bled the clutch. And then we also installed this. What we did was we actually removed the original shift knob, and then we broke the little ring that went around it. I say break, but we basically essentially removed it without having to cut it because it's glued on. So we just used a plier and just cramped it together. That broke it off, and then we placed it on here, placed the boot underneath it, inverted it, and we zip tied it together underneath so this doesn't move around whatsoever, just to make it like OEM. But yeah, it's all good to go now. All right, so we are doing what, Kennedy?
Trying anti-lag.
We are going to install PTF's new anti-lag on the car.
I'm scared.
Yeah, they released it like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
So about 2-3 weeks ago, they released the rolling anti-lag on this car as well as two-step, right? Well,
Not
two-step's not out yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, so rolling anti-lag and the map switching.
And then flex fill capability.
Yeah, and flex fill capability. We're not doing any of that yet. But for now, we are going to test out the rolling anti-lag. It'll be our first time flashing it on any car. It's been out for a little bit. I know there's some people that's been testing it, and we didn't want to throw it on the car and run into issues. We wanted more testing data to make sure that's good, and it seems like people were having good results with it. So now we're going to test it. And then now we flash it. It's broken! Broken!
Drivetrain malfunction everywhere. Hey, it's not like my 435, remember? Fuck that car, bro.
So we press and hold the resume button, and you'll see the right side swipe, and this is going to allow you to switch maps.
So map 1 is 91, ACN 91 octane for California. 2 is regular 91, 3 is 93, and then 4 is actually stock CS power. I'm gonna go here, and then click the resume, and you're back.
Time to go test out this rolling anti-lag and see if it works.
I'm too of a pussy to fucking drive my own car, you know what I'm saying, after the accident.
Yeah, he's scared, so I'm gonna go try it out. And
AKA PTSD.
yeah, PTSD. So after we did the crank hub, I actually ended up driving the car for him and doing multiple pulls.
So Mike's gonna warm up the tires real quick. We do the anti-lag. Yeah, no thank you, dude. This is scary, bro. You see how easy it gets fishtailed?
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude.
Yeah, he's so calm. I'm over here like barely 530 horsepower and I'm already freaking out. Jesus.
Now we gotta warm up the tires.
First cure is always the worst in this car. Alright, I guess we're doing rolling anti-lag down that street.
Yeah.
From the car, I refuse to do it just because I'm not comfortable, nor do I trust myself doing any type of pulls.
Yeah,
anymore.
I drive a Prius, so there's a lot of power for me.
Yeah, you know, TTR8 or whatever. No big deal. Just, you know, whopping 700 something horsepower.
Prius.
Alright. Oh man, damn it. Fucking red light.
Well, I can initiate the rolling anti-lag, so.
I say we would go on the other lane and do it. Whoa! Yo! That motherfucker wanna take off, bro.
Yeah. You know?
Is it for
See,
fun?
if this was my car, I would do it in second gear and make the single sideways, but it's not my car, so I don't feel comfortable. Everybody that is installing rolling anti-lag, unless you know how to drive this damn car, do not initiate it in second gear. You will go sideways and you're probably gonna hit a wall. All right, that's pretty much it for today's vlog. It's time to end the day because, you know, it's been like 16 hours that we've been here and Arlen's still not done with his rod bearing job.
Lag.
What? Isn't it like 9 p.m. right now?
Nah, nigga, it's like 5.
No, it's like 9 p.m. Yeah, you know, he's taking forever to do his job, so we're just gonna end the day.
You know, Mike, I just thought about your floors and stuff and like how everybody else spills oil, but you know, I guess that's not appreciated.
No, we're pretty much buttoning up all the cars now. The M2 is done. We're finishing up the rod bearing job. But that's pretty much it for the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. Can I get a horn, yeah? Oh, yeah. Alrighty, guys. That's it. Peace. What do you think?
I'm still not gonna play with it. It's just for It's just want to go pull, you know, car meets, you know.
He
Like,
says that now, but he's gonna eventually
hey,
do it.
I'm gonna be like the next Paul Walker, stand next to my car and be like,